Hello! Hello everyone. Hopefully, with all luck, we might be able to finish the game this evening. I don't know, we'll see. I do like that song. I thought it was getting a little bit too slow, so I had to switch to a faster song. Also, let me know if like music's too loud or I'm too quiet, because I did have to finagle with some settings last time I streamed, and that kind of, I have a feeling I'm going to be a little bit too quiet. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and preemptively lower the volume slightly. Alright, we'll try that. Let me know if anything probably needs to be changed or dealt with. So, anyway, it's been a few days. Mukoto's gotten kind of cold, I would imagine. It's kind of cold where I'm at, too. Feel your pain, Mukoto, somewhat. So, I think I remember I was looking at it while editing. There was like this, like the whole conversation that happened the second time that we came in here. And the whole, like, looking around and talking took like half an hour. Like, that was a long time to spend in that room. So, anyway, what are we supposed to do next? Totally forgot. Probably leave and go look at something else. Yeah, I completely forgot what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, I know we're supposed to be getting clues. And we're not completely done with that yet. So excuse me if I wander around a bit. Actually, let's just check the map. It usually has some pretty good spots. We already checked the biolab. Should we check the garden again? I feel like we already looked at everything we needed in there. Oh, dining hall. Have we done dining hall stuff? I don't know about that. I don't see what clues we would gain in the dining hall, but maybe. So this is where you've been hiding. Listen, I was hoping to talk to you. Mukoto! Sorry, gotta go. What? She ran off so fast, I didn't even have time to ask her to stop. I'm supposed to fall in despair. Okay, I'll remember that. Hina, why? Why won't you talk to me? Oh, once again... Oh, I forgot to take these off stream. Take that, and that off. If you're watching this recorded video YouTube, you won't see any of that on screen, so ignore my strange, mad ramblings. So is Hina doing anything, like, suspicious in here that we should investigate? I would imagine not. No. Alright, so Hina ran off. That was good. Glad we did that. Don't need to check the dormitory second floor again. AV. Oh, yes, now I remember. Now I remember. We were given a video that we were supposed to look at in the AV room. That was our big thing that we were supposed to be doing. Almost forgot about that. This should be able to play DVDs just fine. Well then, I'd better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have only been a few seconds. But to me it felt like an eternity. And then all of a sudden, an image appeared. Sayaka? It took me by total surprise. I know that we haven't seen Sayaka in so long, I almost forgot she was in the story. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Okay then, are you ready to begin?
Thank you for informing YouTube of my mad ravings in the comments. The voice I heard was of the man positioned on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged man.
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation.
It's okay, I'm recording ours.
I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
You want me to accept that? Sayaka was obviously at a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spend the rest of your life in the school? What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe.
Yeah, that worked out real well.
As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
That worked out real well. Sayaka was the first person to go. As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up until now. Are you too late to join in despair? I think not. Feel free to join in. There's plenty of despair for everyone. But this, only this, I simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard. Because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted that so bad. She tried to frame me for murder. So why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light on the monitor. The video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. My eyes darted back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. Makoto, it's you! What I saw was me. Impossibly, undeniably me.
So, Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
I'm Makoto Robot. I agree to all terms and conditions. Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed like a fairly normal conversation. But the I in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him like this.
Now, shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Yes.
Affirmative. Makoto Robot is here to spend life in school. This can't be real. I said yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, I will do everything I can to protect you.
A little bit better than Sayaka, maybe?
As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. I don't have time for this nonsense. I just imagine Togami's like, yeah, whatever. I've read everything already. Just hurry up, I've got important businessy things to do. They all said that they agreed to live in the school forever. And then Kyoko, her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She'd sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father, and when he asked her his question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor. The DVD player itself had apparently turned off. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened? Someone probably unplugged it. This is a certain teddy bear. Oopsie, looks like it broke. Out of service. She was okay with being in the school forever, but not being with Makoto forever. Well, I mean, he's got an annoying voice. What? It just so happened to break just now?
Too bad.
Now, then, when, doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right? I feel like he stepped on the cord. You cut the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd just be more of the same. He'd ask them the question, and they'd all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge, exasperated sigh. But as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. A convenient outcome. Something like that seemed to obviously work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or... Uh-oh, is that it? So here's the thing, right?
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end.
So here's the thing, it seems very weird to me that that they would all agree to this. I don't know. I mean, they all do it in a very, I mean, I was making fun of Makoto being robot-esque, but in a very kind of robot-esque kind of way where everyone just like agrees. Very compliant. I don't know, very strange. Especially for some of these characters.
And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn.
You worked on this speech for a while, didn't you?
Although that dawn is totally pitch black, there is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning. Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again, because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started.
That made absolutely no sense.
Of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you know where.
It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time all our lives will be on the line. The last time hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. This is the end. I sure hope somebody else has some ideas, because I feel like we might not have quite enough to solve it by ourselves. Like, we've got some stuff, but we might need a little backup on this one. I guess I'm the first one this time.
Makoto.
You're early, Makoto. Well, we were right next to
Listen.
the room. Does that mean you feel prepared? Yeah, for now, at least. But where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet?
However...
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon. And just like she said... Togami! Togami? I'm so mad at everything. I hate things. They arrived one after another. but they were all in the same state of shock. Hina? Hiro? Silence. And it wasn't any normal silence. It was the deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like the first class trial. They all ran out of batteries.
So I appear.
Oh, good.
I'm on fire.
Ah, strong silent master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot, my loins are ablaze.
Yes!
Now listen, everything will just be fine if you leave it to me.
My beautiful scissors!
With my scissor-sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys. If it's what master wants, it can be a boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Is everyone here? Oh, and wearing our gloomy gust faces, I see.
Well now.
Okay, well then, let's begin.
Thrills, chills, kills!
This final class trial is gonna be slathered in pitch black despair. Climaxium sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right, this is the final class trial. And this time it'll be fair. What do you mean, this time? Stop with all the slander. I'm a bear in good standing, you know?
Unbelievable.
If there was a Mr. Fair Guy Universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year. I'm gonna win this game super fair and square.
Today, I'm feeling white.
And I'll make sure everyone watching at home knows that despair is mightier than the hope.
Stop talking.
Enough of your tedious drivel. Tedious drivel. Begin the trial already. Sure, let's begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below.
You guys.
So don't try and run away. Laughing as loud as ever, Monokuma disappeared. Whatever.
In the name of my family.
This will be over in no time. With an inexplicable confidence, Togami was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed. So angry. And Hiro's so useless. Nobody made eye contact. Nobody said a word. They just disappeared onto the elevator.
Hey,
They're all acting odd. Like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other.
however,
But you know why that is, don't you? Yeah, I think so.
however,
Well, you can tell us about it soon. At the class trial. You're right, I'm ready.
so...
Ready to win, right? Of course. I'm glad to hear you say that. Moonbeam! And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator. Alright, let's go! Started making my way towards the opening. Step after step towards that gaping maw. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. Even though we don't know exactly what's going down, I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body, and finally, on steady legs, I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator. Without warning, it began to descend. Deeper and deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper still. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Deeper and deeper it fell. I closed my eyes and sight fell away. All sound, too, disappeared. Alone in the universe, I waited for the elevator doors to open for the last time. What could have been seconds or centuries later, I felt the gentle vibration of the elevator come up to an end. I slowly opened my eyes. this is the final trial site? What do you think? Isn't it just the perfect background for deciding a person's fate? It's the long-awaited last stage, the always exciting final boss battle. And I'm gonna sit in on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat.
Thrills, chills, kills!
That sounds mighty suspicious, doesn't it? Well then, let's begin! I was really close to getting right before the trial. If I had gone another, I don't know, 5-10 minutes on the last stream, I could have made it here. Well, not to here, but to, right before the door where I normally stop. Alright, let's see what the scrolling text says. I'm gonna let a little bit of it roll before I start reading it. The mastermind stands exposed and must pay for their crimes. Now all that's left is the looming mystery of Hope's Peak Academy itself. Okay, so just a bit of a review because it has been a little bit for me and everyone else, I assume. Monokuma File 5. Due to the explosion, victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They'd also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Which, because when I was counting, the number of people dead and comparing that to how many filled cryo beds or whatever they were, I don't know, morgue thingies. There's one person missing that should be there, and we already confirmed that that Mukuro's there. So somebody else, I think, is supposed to be there that isn't. So maybe they're saying the wounds were several days old, and I'm trying to remember, did someone several days ago get wounded with some kind of metal pipe thing? Would that be Sakura? But that, I don't know. Rip notifications. Basically all we did was, we went and watched the video that, we had gotten, that DVD, and it was actually kind of interesting. It was basically a video of everyone being asked if they were okay with living in the school forever. And they all said yes, including Mikoto, which of course he didn't remember. And then we went to the trial. Everyone's kind of suspicious of each other, and now we're looking through truth bullets. So yeah, you didn't miss too much. Even though we are 37 minutes in, well, maybe 20. Yeah, so I'm fairly suspicious that somebody, I feel like Sakura's too big for that body to have been. It had to be someone a bit more normal sized, but Sakura did get hit in the head with, some large blunt objects. That's something. Places to check. Several rooms have been locked up to this point. The headmaster's room, the biolab, the Monokuma door in the data center, and the second floor of the dormitory. In addition, the areas directly connected to Mukuro Kisaba's death are the garden and dojo, which we looked through. The Monokuma control room is in the data center. It's where the mastermind had been issuing commands to the Ursine robot. There's a tarp found in the garden that had played a part in Mukuro's murder. Biolab had been stamped on one corner. Same kind of tarp is found in the biolab, so there's no doubt that this tarp came from here. And of course what's suspicious about that is we didn't have access to the biolab until very recently. Not until after that murder had taken place. So, yeah. I think that's what it is. We're trying to. We have to figure out who the extra is. Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Headmaster Mukuro did not have a single scar or wound when she came there. Which we were able to correctly identify Mukuro's body based upon, I guess, height and weight. Can you really do it off vitals? Kyoko has confirmed that the corpse matches these characteristics. The ultimate despair with spooky eyes. The phrase the ultimate despair doesn't refer to a single individual, but a like-minded group of people. 1 year ago, that group brought about the single worst event in human history. They took down the internet. They're motivated only by despair, making them some of the most despicable people to ever live. So despicable. Alright, there's a brightly colored box sitting in the headmaster's hidden room. Inside the box were human bones, the last remains of the headmaster, for some strange reason. Oh, I forgot to put this, in the chat for anybody new, but if you see strange text like that, that is Rot13, which is basically considered spoilers, so if you don't know the story, don't look at it. If you do know the story, feel free to look at it if you'd like. You can go to www.rot13.com to translate it. I should have written that in the description. I normally do, I just forgot. Let's see, photo of Kyoko and the headmaster. She's absolutely adorable, I can't stand it. In this hidden room, the headmaster kept a photo of him and a young Kyoko together. In the photo, both are smiling, which makes it seem like the father maybe didn't want to leave Kyoko. An emergency handbook was found in the headmaster's hidden room. Handbook apparently has no restrictions, and was given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. Which we used to get into the lockers. We found a notebook on the second floor of the dorms. Yatsuhiro's name was written on the inside, and it has different notes for a number of different classes. We also have Kyoko's pocketbook. Oh yeah, Kyoko said she was going to go and check and see if the locker worked with her handbook. I'm assuming it did. Maybe that'll come up later, but that would be the true test to see if she was a student here before, wouldn't it? Let's see. Based upon what was written inside, it's believed to be Kyoko's. Some kind of message scrawled on the last page of the pocketbook. Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second. Despair. Ooh, spooky. The biolab secret seems to be repurposed as a morgue. Biolab lights. A corpse fridge has been installed in the biolab. It seems that a blue light comes on to indicate a slot's occupied. The number of blue lights counting the slot with Mukuro's body inside comes to a total of 9. Now, if everyone who was dead was in there, total would come to 10, which means we're missing somebody. I don't know who. Maybe it would have been smart to, look inside the other ones and been like, okay, that's Sayaka, that's Sakura, that's Leon, oh, we're missing so-and-so. But, we don't think quite that far ahead. But that's okay. I'm sure we'll figure it out some other way. So, yeah, total of 9 lights. Group photo. The photo depicts all of Hope's Peak students wearing matching uniforms. Worth noting is that Mukuro is pictured while Makoto's not. Could that mean that all the others are working together somehow? How suspicious is that? Maybe they all knew about it from the beginning. Genocide Jack's memory. It would seem that while Toko and Genocide Jack share certain fundamental knowledge, their individual memories are separate. Which I'm not really sure why we got that as a truth bullet, beyond the fact that maybe they want us to use it in the trial at some point, because we kind of already knew that. That's like super basic Genocide Jack knowledge at this point. Kyoko attests that both the stab wound and the blow to the head were inflicted after death. And we have the interview DVD. Oh yeah, here you go, Mika, if you want to know more about what was going on there. The DVD Kyoko found contained interviews between the headmaster and all the Hope's Peak students. Makoto, however, had no memory of such an interview. Thanks to Monokuma's interference, Makoto wasn't able to watch the DVD all the way through. Which, of course, could mean that maybe someone in there didn't agree to it, and then they, strapped him to a bomb, and they're like, say yes or we'll kill you. Tiny bombs. And that's all we've got. I don't think I have any new skills. I haven't really... In fact, I don't think we've gotten any skills in, quite a while. We really haven't. Alright. Trial. All rise.
Since this will be the final class trial, I've come up with a special rule.
I don't think you're allowed to come up with special rules. That's cheating. And also, oh yeah, Monokuma was all like, hey, I'll take the 16th person spot. You know, why would he do that? It almost seems like, you know, he's prepared to possibly lose. First time I see someone that's not insane making use of YouTube live stream. I'm not insane. Yes, excellent. Confirmed by people on the internet.
So listen up! If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school, you guys win!
Wow, that's nice of you.
But if you can't, then I win!
I kind of thought that's how it was going to go down.
And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super hard-pounding punishment!
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
But you're a bear, that doesn't count.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not! Bears never go back on their word!
Except for, you know, the time that you tried to kill us when we weren't the murderer. That was good. I like that one.
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
I know, right, Hero? You, like, never done anything useful.
Is the mastermind only one person? Don't bother. I already know the answer.
Wow, Hero, you sure stepping up here.
You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me.
It's a conspiracy.
I'm right, aren't I? I knew it.
We're off to a good start already.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you?
You figured it out.
I have evidence, so I know
Oh,
I'm right.
please show me. I want to see this evidence.
Hey, you stole my line.
He stole my
You're
line.
all out to get me. I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
Oh, please show me.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
Are they all working together to work together against me?
Hold on, this doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
Why do you spin the word? Why do you spin the word? That's not fair. All three of them think that everyone around them is their enemy. There's no doubt this is a trap Monokuma set. He set it up so we would suspect each other.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right.
Hey, you stole my line.
Oh, are we gonna say we have evidence against them as well?
I'm sure of it. I have evidence of my own.
It's either this or the group photo, but I think it's this one.
To present. Evidence that proves
Everyone other than me. What? This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us?
No, please, no!
Of evidence.
No! Dang it. Stupid rotating words.
You guys have all been working. I have evidence, so I know you stole my
Hard mode activate, let's go.
Evidence that proves everyone. What? This doesn't make any sense. How can the three of us each have
What kind of evidence?
Oh, come on. I got it, like, dang it. I need to aim for the center, honestly.
You guys have all been
working together. I have evidence, so I know you stole my. You're out to get me. I have evidence of my. What a coincidence. Evidence that proves everyone. What? This doesn't make any sense. How can the
three of us each have that kind of evidence?
Okay, so that's not it. I got the evidence. Yours is all fake.
You guys have all been working together.
Yeah, let's
haven't
try
you?
the group photo.
I have evidence, so I know I'm right.
Hey, you stole my line. You're out to get me. I have evidence of my. What a coincidence. Evidence that proves everyone other than. What? This doesn't make any sense.
How can the three of us each have that?
There we go.
No,
That's wrong. Oh gosh, here comes the making fun of Makoto's voice again.
it's not just you three. I have evidence too.
We all did it.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Is the stream freezing for anyone else? Yeah, I mean, it's not telling me there's any problems. So, not just you? Oh, fun. I mean, I haven't, like, I'm not losing any quality. Yeah, try reloading. I'll hold on for a second. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna restart the stream really quick. I'll be back in like 20 seconds, but it'll be on the same page, so just give me just a moment. Okay, should be back now. I was local recording like twice by accident, but I figured if there were no issues, I'd just let it keep going. So, I don't know if that's what it is, but maybe that'll fix things. I don't know. Good luck. The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different.
Uh-oh.
With the picture you have, I'm in it.
Oh man, I want to see this photo with Mukuro in it.
Because in my picture... See? I'm the only one nodding.
Look at Mukuro. I hate running. Does that technically count as being in the picture? Like you just got photoshopped in the back of the picture yet again? In fact, that was just like Makoto's picture. She didn't have a uniform on either. Oh, I love these pictures. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all fake. I figured as much. In which case...
Hiro, you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
Tears it in half. What are you doing? There's Mukuro again. And then there's Celeste in the back again, just sort of like photoshopped in. This one too. It's just like I thought. She was about to lick his head.
The secret in these pictures has been revealed.
Secret or whatever, I don't care. You guys are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
Yeah, I mean, if for some reason you can't get the stream to play for you, you know, there's not much I can do about that. It will be uploaded in about a day or so if you're interested. So you can go ahead and look at that, but you can try later. There's not much more I can do if it's running good on my end. Was Kyoko's hair white in that? I didn't even notice.
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other.
It's probably Celeste because, you know, she looks photoshopped in every picture.
The mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap? A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
The proof I need to reveal Monokuma's trap. Each photo has a certain something in common. There's a connection regarding what person isn't shown in the group photos. And that person is... Monokuma! Oh well, you see, while you guys were having so much fun frolicking together, I was out catching salmon for the winter. That's all there is to it. Ignoring what he actually said, how is Monokuma not being in the pictures a trap? He's not a student here, so it'd actually be weird if he was in the pictures, right? You're right, I guess that's not what I meant.
Shoot!
Aw, shoot! Good job. What does each picture have in common? It's Toko. See? I'm the only one who got left out. I don't like seeing her in real life. Why would I want her in my picture? That's what you thought? Huh. Even a single picture isn't allowed? Although if we all calm down and look at the pictures, Toko's totally in all of them.
Shoot!
Shoot! Oh, I get it. So the person who isn't in the picture is the one taking the picture. There you go.
I got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it.
Yeah, I figured it out!
So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing.
Why does he have a camera if he's getting a picture taken of him? That isn't how cameras work.
In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hiro got, he's the only one missing.
Okay. Oh yeah. Celeste is always
As
standing
long
in the
as we're
background.
talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
Oh, hey there. Why was there a fish in there?
In other words, Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Figured it out, huh?
This is our class photo of us before we decide to become masterminds.
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
But you know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. There's something else that bothers me about everyone's pictures. What is it? What's digging at me?
Listen, can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Rips in half.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sure there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. Well, I mean, my joke about Celeste, you know, never actually participating in anything is still there. Tagami's picture, Hina's picture, Hiro's picture, and mine. She does really look photoshopped in all of them, honestly. There's something strange about all of them. Something I can't quite pin down. Something... Group photo.
Can you just forget about the photo already? Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
It's the fish, I say.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
Question is rather what's not suspicious about any of these photos. Yeah, you'd see that photo and you'd be like, what's wrong with these kids?
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that.
The chicken was the one that took the photos. That's why he's gone. He was a bad
So it's gotta be
photographer.
a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't remember taking this picture either. But is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
You know, maybe you were taking pictures in your sleep. The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's fake. There might be some other reason. Some terrible reason. An unbelievable but entirely horrifying reason. Amnesia? Is that the word?
Now I understand.
Yeah, I understand. I got a dorky voice.
Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Did Celeste have the same expression and pose in all the photos? I don't really know, honestly. I mean, I don't think she had the same expression and pose. Maybe the same pose, but not the same expression.
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense.
So much sense.
As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
I was kind of banking on it.
Yeah, we all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. We can't move forward until they accept it. Oh gosh, 7 bullets? How many bullets does this revolver have?
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia?
Yeah.
Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school,
Who told you that? Your brain?
I remember everything that's happened.
So the idea that
Hey,
we all
guys.
lost our memories.
It's totally stupid, obviously.
So that was the only point we could dispute. Even if we don't want to believe it, if it's the truth, we don't have a choice. Otherwise, we'll all die in here. So she said that she's remembered everything that's happened since she's been here. How can we
You're
refute
saying
that?
we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
So the idea that we all lost our
Interview
memories.
DVD. There you go.
It's
That's what we
totally
need.
stupid, obviously.
Of course, that makes a lot of sense.
You're saying we all got... Since when did this turn into some... I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school,
Even me?
I remember everything that's happened.
No, that's wrong.
Do you remember this?
Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Oh, you know it.
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
Is Monokuma nice enough to give us a DVD player in the courtroom?
When you say all of us, you mean...
I mean all of us, including you.
But unfortunately, I don't think we actually have one, so I think everyone's just gonna have to take our word on that.
You lie! I never did any kind of interview.
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself.
We took a short recess to watch the DVD.
The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, I mean, if you lose your memory, you wouldn't exactly remember losing your memory. It's a fairly common thing.
Well, we don't have
I
any
mean, when
way
you
to
lose your
refute
memory.
it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia
That stuff
here.
only happens in JRPGs.
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question. He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
Actually, we all said we could.
At least as far into the videos we saw.
Even me.
We're getting to the good part, apparently.
I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else? Nobody remembers? You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
I know, right? Honestly, I keep waiting for that kind of twist to occur. The Virtue's Last Reward twists.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, I really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all making my head hurt.
Memory loss will do that to you.
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
The Amnesia Maker 9000.
How could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains? Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
You're a bear. I feel like you don't even know how it happened.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
The original motive?
You mean the motive you came up with to try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does.
The original motive was that one video they showed of, like, whatever our thing was that we, wanted the most, like, destroyed.
But that part's still a secret. Anyway,
Are we talking
I'm
about
sure
a different
it's
one,
not
like one
easy,
before that?
But let's all focus on the class trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Oh well, I guess that's later.
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we
The
do
motive was
anything
boredom.
else.
I'm bored, let's murder. So until we do that, well, either way, we'll have to explain every last remaining mystery. Hello. How are you new peoples doing? So, the one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we need to expose. Welcome. You came just in time for murder. Or at least discussing murder.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure? Exactly! You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably 1,000,000 miles away.
Hey, no, we got his bones in a nice box. Dang it.
His masterminds always lurk off in the background, right?
No, we got a box. Look, we brought it with us. Opens box. Guys, look, it's the headmaster.
Who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything.
Dang it.
That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is probably 1,000,000 miles away.
Oh, that's not it? Mastermind's probably 1,000,000 miles away. I know, that's the thing, I can't read the purple messages while I'm playing, but when I'm editing, I'll look through them, and they're usually pretty humorous.
Shoot!
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind
everything.
Same one who's behind everything.
Shoot!
I have to find a way that...
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same
Is it the
one
Monokuma
behind
control room?
everything.
No.
Shoot!
We're not brute forcing yet, but we're getting close.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same
One who's behind.
everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure? Exactly! You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is
Probably a million
miles away.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Wait, I know I got it wrong. Just do it again. Do it again.
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
It's okay, it's okay. I felt like that might have been it too, but I couldn't quite figure out how to refute it.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma. The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What? Why?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. Oh, it's this one again. I love this line. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are their 16 students.
So if the mastermind
What is that, like 8 now?
in the school, we have to assume it can only be that 16th student.
I know. I saw that gibberish, and my first thought was, is that Rot 13? But then it said Makoto in English at the end. Well, not English, but you know what I mean. But then I realized, no, that's just gibberish. That's not actually Rot 13.
How'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me! I blame Makoto!
It's definitely me.
What? Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it! The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, this is bad evidence.
You got me.
Doesn't have that many flashbacks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love not to have the exact same flashback shown to me over the course of 2 hours, like 8 times. Like, what the heck? Come on.
Wait! What are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic.
If there's any time to panic, this is the time to
The
panic.
mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
That's a good point.
Because he totally would have dumped himself in the garbage.
Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
Basically, if you don't know what's going on, blame Makoto. He's a good scapegoat.
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different.
It's Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student hidden somewhere in the school.
Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
I feel like I can just quote that. I mean, it's not a hard line to quote, but, you know, I'll just quote that forever now. Mukuro's actual cause of death must have been the blow to her head. We just said the same thing during the last trial, but are you sure it's true? Oh, there's a chance the blow to her head came after she was killed. Oh, yeah. Alright, we're gonna fail it, but, stab wound. And stab wound is camouflage. You proved that yourself during the last class trial. Oh, yeah. Shoot! Nobody believes me. You know what that means? It's everyone's favorite punishment time!
Is this really the end for all of us?
It's all over, Makoto.
I refuse to give up yet.
No. Well, okay, I guess we can keep going.
There's no question that the mastermind is
But
somewhere
where's
within the school.
Sayaka?
How do you know? Did you find...
In the back
Oh
of
man,
the
that
data
sent us
set-
back far, didn't it? Good lord. Yeah, just send me back like 5 in-game minutes or something. Like, what the heck?
We have...
Okay, it must have been the other wounds.
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
Ah.
What?
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days?
There you go.
If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
Yeah, but I would think the idea of wounds being several days old would mean that they started healing. I don't know. I feel like that's a little misleading.
That doesn't make any sense. Because she had all those wounds before she ever came here. Huh? How do you know that? Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know.
I already know how to go against that one. You're wrong.
She denied me before I could even say anything. Come on. I mean, you think I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
That voice acting's really good for that character. If you're so sure you were gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place? It's gonna be probably Mukuro's profile, I think.
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier.
Certainly can't deny that.
She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she...
Well, you can tell this is what we're supposed to be hitting. Because it just spins.
Are you finished?
You didn't deny me this time, Wimsy. You made me go all cutesy.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute.
I think I'm way cuter. Only 20 bullets to use, lol.
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier. She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Oh, dang it. Not only does it rotate, but it expands. So you can't even hit, like, the center of it, because the words will slowly rotate out.
You made me
Dang
go
it.
all cutesy.
Don't worry,
There wasn't
nothing
anything
cute.
about it.
Mukuro was the she must have been. So, when you think about obviously, she
Got all those wounds.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much.
And I can believe that one.
Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
Bang, bang, bang. Makoto, what are you doing? I'm shooting the truth bullets. What? Makoto, we're trying to have an intelligent conversation here. No, I gotta shoot down the lies with my truth bullets. Guys, Makoto's being weird again.
to be denied so completely. Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school. In which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
Alright.
But if that's what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night?
Oh yeah, that thing.
Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant. If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
The identity of the one who attacked me. I can't think of anyone else. Does it even matter? If Mukuro had been dead for several days at least, it's hard to imagine she was your assailant. Not that I even need to ask, but what do you happen to have any evidence? Do you happen to have any evidence to prove otherwise? Well, I don't know. Better think about this again.
Shoot!
Shoot! See, they use these words interchangeably almost all the time, so I don't even know.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true mastermind.
Am I even trying to guess? No, I'm actually trying to guess wrong. Some of these wrong conclusions are hilarious. I love them.
When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me. But I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
You're wrong!
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think. Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way Mukuro is the one that attacked me. Even if I didn't see their face. Oh, well, you know, they don't have that thing on their hand, that wolf thing. I didn't even notice that till now. That didn't even pop in my head. You compare what we know about Mukuro to the masked attacker. It should be obvious. I'm gonna actually have to look at my truth bullets on these again to get reminded.
You never
Oh,
saw
no, I
their
didn't mean to
face,
do that.
right?
Let's see, it was Mukuro Kusaba's profile. Don't think that's what I want. There's also Monokuma file number 5 in there, right? That doesn't sound right either. Maybe I have to pull one of their statements out and shoot them with it.
So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand?
Oh crap, no, I meant to grab that. Whoops. You wound me, Makoto. Words can cut as deep as any blade, you know. You interrupted me while I was talking. 1 point deduction.
Shoot.
Shoot. I meant to grab that.
You never saw
Their face, so you can't have any. I'm telling you now,
You're wrong.
even there's
Another
part
part.
of the attacker which. Oh?
Is it the
Right hand?
or the left hand?
I think it was the right hand.
Maybe the right
It was
foot.
definitely the right hand.
Or perhaps the left
What are you
foot.
doing?
Or could it be the hips?
I don't think it was the hips. I love that blind right there, though. It was pulled off so well. Could it be the hip?
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask.
Her ultimate
I'm
vitals.
telling you,
Now, it was
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Look what you did. No.
Oh? Is it
The
right hand?
or the left hand? Maybe the right or perhaps or could it be?
The hips.
You never saw their, so you can't have any. I'm telling you now, it was. You're wrong. There's another part of the attack. Oh? Is it
the right hand?
Oh crap, I
or
passed
the
it.
left
Whoops.
hand? Maybe the right or perhaps or could it be the hip?
The hips.
You never saw their, so you can't have any. I'm telling you now.
Now, it was...
You're wrong. There's another part of the attacker.
Oh?
And what is it?
Oh,
the right
okay,
or the
whoops,
left hand? Maybe
okay.
The right or perhaps or
I
could
thought there
it
was
be
another statement in there.
the
Okay, it's supposed to be Mukuro Ikusaba.
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under... I'm telling you,
Now, it was
Mukuro...
No, that's wrong.
What could it be? The hips. Not gonna let that one go for a while.
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly.
You do remember
A
correctly.
representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo.
Let the loop flow through you.
But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Unless, of course, they took someone else's skin and was wearing it as a glove.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't
I'm
her.
assuming that didn't happen.
But that still doesn't prove that it was me.
Could it be the hips?
It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Could it be Makoto himself?
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it could have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her.
But Kyoko wears gloves.
Uh-oh, no snappy comeback. Did I score a bullseye?
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh?
Is she gonna take off the glove?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing
Take
that
off-
proves
take off the
beyond a
glove.
shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Take off the glove. Before anyone could say anything. Take off the glove. Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Your hands!
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burned skin.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was
I
inexperienced.
was a young firebender at the time.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on. I've since mastered the art of firebending.
My scars should suffice as proof.
Yeah, definitely didn't have scarred hands.
Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
Unless, of course, they have the skin gloves.
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful! On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That just sounds super suspicious, like you haven't cornered me yet, and it's like, well, we already know you did it. Let's just say he did it. Although we do have to kind of figure it out. This isn't like the regular trials, so...
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Oh man, look who's funny now.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
So smart, so good.
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else the body could have been stored. It was obviously the pool. I'm thinking, they sunk it to the bottom of the pool. Don't be stupid, it wasn't in the pool. If you did that, it'd get all bloated and mushy. There's no way you could preserve a body like that. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that.
Shoot!
We gotta cook them up. You're thinking they put it in the kitchen fridge, right? That's gotta be it. I'm glad I didn't know before. I never would have been able to eat another meal in there. Impossible. A body wouldn't have fit in that refrigerator. Not with how much food was in there. So that means... Stop talking about it. And if it had been in the kitchen, I have to assume someone would have noticed it.
Shoot!
I like to imagine everyone's just sitting around just waiting for Makoto to finish his stupid antics.
I got it!
Got it!
Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue. So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
Guys, does anyone else notice the corpse in the fridge? That's not a corpse, Makoto, that's ham. Stop being so rude.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
That would be the biolab tarp.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is... the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
It said, for kitchen use only.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
Good job, Makoto. You gotta be so nitpicky.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
When asked if I play Fire Emblem, I played a little bit. I've never, played an entire game through, but I've played a few of the Game Boy series ones. Not that newest one, though. I haven't played that one yet.
That's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Proof that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Oh ho ho!
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
You talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
She about to bring up what I think it is? An inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about...
La la la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well.
I'll put my
just
face
ignore
right
it.
up in the camera. I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about...
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think I'm talking about? Your family.
What? What does my family have to do with this?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message. So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Why are you
I
bringing
thought that's
that
the
up
aftermath
now?
after they beat up somebody in their living room.
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
So mad.
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I'll need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. Just slam him right in the face. Oh boy, we get to do rhythm battles.
Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this?
Rawr.
What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof! Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof! Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof! Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? What? What do you want?
Whoops, just accidentally made it.
I'm not listening!
Oh, dang it. What is it? Oh, biolab lights. No, dang it.
Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof! Are you sure about this? Proof, proof, proof!
My rhythm just got way off right there.
I'm not listening!
This should prove it.
Yeah! You make them all sweaty!
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights.
So I'm just looking at the chat. So there's like a prequel to Danganronpa. Is it like a visual novel? Just kind of curious. I haven't been able to read the whole chat thing. Or not visual novel, I mean a light novel. I think that's what I might have picked up from that.
Yeah. What are you talking about? What about
That could
the
have
lights?
easily been checked. I'm assuming because we were able to open the one that Mukuro was in, that we could have opened all of them and we could have checked. Like, I don't know why we didn't do that.
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
Good job, Togami. You figured it out.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in.
I almost ran out of fingers.
And there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is... You see, any slot that has a body and it doesn't light up. Only the lights in the slots without bodies in them come on. In other words, only the slots for S6 who are still alive should be on. Actually, as soon as you put a body in a slot, the blue light comes on telling you the system's active. That part was made quite clear in the instruction manual. Did you read it? Oh yeah, I did.
Shoot!
Oh, shoot! Alright, here we go. Time to fail again. Let's see what happens when you select 8 lights. 8? But that would mean... I've heard that 8 is an unlucky number in the West. So I say 9's better. Then, why did he say 8? Ah, good point. Because 9 is totally an unlucky number in Japan. So either way, we're screwed. Q. Maybe I was thinking of... it an octopus? Don't tell us that's what you thought of 8. How'd you know? I'm just hungry, man. We're getting really off track here. Shoot! 9 lights, 9 corpses, 9 doors.
I refuse to give up yet.
Well, it doesn't matter, Makoto. You're still guilty. Doesn't matter if you refuse.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is...
Yeah! Alright, 10 lights.
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Ignore all those numbers I was throwing out before.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple.
I'm not guilty because
Just
I said
recall
no.
Who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was sixth, then Hifumi was seventh. Celeste was 8. Sakura was 9th. And victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
Wow, counting's hard. That took all my fingers.
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious.
And yet I didn't get too suspicious about it
But
myself.
according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
I didn't really think about it too hard till right now.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
Possibly.
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
Or perhaps perhaps the body that we're talking about right now is in fact not Mukuro's body.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
The reason there are less bodies than murders. The explanation for more murders than victims. Why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? Same person was killed twice.
What about if the same person was killed twice?
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far. But one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Wow, double murder.
Murdered
Worst crime ever.
Murdered again?
If that's the case,
One count of double
there could
murder.
have been 10
Coming right
kills,
up.
But still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. Still, something like that.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Nothing's gonna become obvious. Because Kyoko's totally delusional.
Now we're gonna have a dance trial. Come on, Makoto. You ready to dance?
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima? Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mondo Owada? Kiyotaka
So we gotta figure it out?
Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu... whatever? Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice.
So we probably have to take one of their statements and shoot it at murdered twice. Mukuro died from the wounds she had all over her body. There's gotta be some sort of explanation that can solve this mystery. Well, here, how about this? We're gonna take a second to look. Oh, I don't want to look at the truth bullets. Oh man, I want to look at I want to look at like the handbook as a whole. I want to see all the students to remember how they all died. Well, we can cut it down because it's probably just the girls. I'm almost positive of that. Who died to wounds all over their body? Oh, Junko did. She got stabbed a bunch of times.
Someone else that Mukuro was it? Sayaka Maizono? Junko
Enoshima?
There we go.
Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mondo Owada?
Kiyotaka Hifumi Celestia Lu, or maybe... No, there's no way.
Anyone was murdered?
Yeah!
No,
That's wrong! Celestia
Junko.
Celestia whatever.
Wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and that sounds actually about right. Being dead is the new black.
Well, remember what happened to her?
She looks less dead right here. She looks just more angry. I guess she was pretty angry at the time, wasn't she? She kind of like stepped on Monokuma's face.
She was impaled by a bunch of spears all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered...
And the similarities...
Oh, and the long fingernails would actually kind of go with that, wouldn't they? Because I was thinking, you know, the long fingernails were weird. I couldn't quite remember or really think of who would have long fingernails like that. But it would actually make sense for Junko too. In fact, I'm near positive that she had really long fingernails.
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those two bodies are actually one and the same.
So let me see if I have this straight.
So mad.
Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
It's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9.
I guess she was the only person that didn't end up getting killed, like, in the game somehow, right?
Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
Oh, hey there.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro.
No, it's Sayaka.
She's still alive.
Sayaka's not really dead.
Junko's body. And made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right.
Look, Toko actually did something helpful. Is Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro. But can we really believe that? It's really the trap. Oop, hey there. Didn't mean to click that.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro. Then she's still alive? That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
I'm gonna refute. Mukuro's still alive? Can I really believe that? So I think we have to refute Mukuro being alive. Yeah, I think I like this track the most out of the trial music as well. It's got a lot going on in it. And it's kind of mixing some things in there.
Found in the garden.
We got Monokuma File 5.
It wasn't Mukuro.
Saba's profile.
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
Nah, I didn't think that was it. I think something you said is wrong. I just gotta figure out what it is.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Ah,
No, that's
good.
wrong.
I knew it! That's suspicious right there. What do you have to say for
No,
yourself, Mr.
The
Bear?
body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her
Oh,
records.
yes, of course. I knew that exactly.
Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32.
Ultimate vitals.
Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. There's only one person it could be. It's Mukuro. Wait, hold on. Am I really sure about this? Someone made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. So this would have to be one of the dead people then. It wouldn't be Junko, would it? She got stabbed a lot. You can't live through that, can you? But then again, nobody else's wounds were much more livable. I bet it was Sayaka. Sayaka did it! Okay, yeah. Now let me try Junko. That's the only one I really feel like it might be.
Here's my answer.
Yeah, we got it! We got it!
Junko is still alive. It's the only
I know, I
possibility.
didn't actually do too bad this time, I don't think. Why does Mukuro know the measurements for her corpse? Yeah, I know the profile said so, but still.
Are you sure about
Please
that?
explain this to me, Mukuro, how she survived all those stab wounds.
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation.
But how did she survive that? Like, there was a lot of pink
But
paint
we
there.
saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes.
Even being like the world's...
If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade.
Even being the ultimate soldier doesn't make you spear-proof. Or able just to, like, take a spear like a man. And nevertheless, like, 8 or 9 or whatever there is.
But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it... Oh, shoot! Got it wrong again. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but... she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check absolutely. And I can say for sure...
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
They got a defibrillator from a video game, Left 4 Dead 2, and revived her.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
Defibrillators fix all bullet wounds, bodily wounds.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud.
Kyoko, can I have some backup?
Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided
Thank you,
just
Kyoko.
yet. Oh? You haven't given up already, have you, Mukuro?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good.
I
but how do
refuse
you
to give
intend
up.
to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Maybe it's because they're only dead inside.
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
Yeah, I know, really. Like, I think, honestly, even with immediate medical care, I feel like getting stabbed that many times, like, clear through your body isn't something that you just kind of live through. Like, it just isn't something that happens, even with immediate medical care. I feel like at that point, the doctor's like, I'm done, I can't do this. How could Junko have survived? I checked her. She was dead, I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely. Maybe she used some sort of trick. Some sort of closed room trick. We gotta figure it out. I don't even know what word I would be looking for. Not P. Not D. R. Replacement? Replace, anyway? Stop running away from me, you letters. No, please. Oh. Replaced. No. Let me have the D.
Now I understand.
Makoto, use your skill where you learn how to put letters together.
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
What if she did it?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place.
What? She quickly grabbed someone and threw them in front of the spears while like tucking rolling? Like, what?
Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
What?
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
I thought so.
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done
Tactical roll. Ugh.
Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
Hey, would you mind kicking this bear in the face for me? Pretending you're me and then getting stabbed? That'd be great. There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain how they could have switched. At the beginning, that would... They switched after death. After death, are you saying, she's possessed, it's a ghost, it's the Illuminati? That's not really what I meant, but I guess there's no other way to explain it. Yeah.
Shoot.
Nobody wants to listen to me, even though I have such great ideas.
I refuse to give up yet.
I think it was Junko, but it was Dio.
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Oh boy, now it's time to hold the circle button for the next minute. The things I go through to find all these stupid dialogue options. Okay. Could they seriously have switched at the moment of death? I doubt it. Like, you know, she was hiding inside Monokuma, and then just before the spears hit... But we opened up Monokuma, right? I don't think there was enough room in there for a person. Besides, we were all standing right there. How could they have switched without us noticing? Oh, yeah. You probably would have saw it, huh? Yeah, for sure. my favorite Makoto expression is that one. Alright, they switched at the beginning.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
So how'd you talk her into that one?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched... then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right?
So, okay, so next question, yeah, how'd you talk her into it?
After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Oh yeah, because we wouldn't have known any different, really.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met
Was actually Mukuro?
was actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference.
True that.
That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
Case closed.
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that.
Darn it.
If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
Well, yeah, I mean, other than Sayaka and Makoto knowing each other, I mean, nobody else knew each other. So, you know, somebody saying that they were somebody else, they would have no reason to believe otherwise.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup in the very beginning?
That sounds like it.
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her.
Hey, want to get on a team and die? Sounds great, let's go.
In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid? Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to admit it. But he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter. Because I've already figured it out. Tried to hide Junko's identity, and not just once, but twice. First time was during our latest investigation. Was it the Monokuma control room? No, that's not it. Whoops.
Shoot!
Was it the biolab lights? No, that kind of gave him away. Is it Mukuro's fatal injury? No, dang it.
Shoot!
Oh well. Trial and error, here we come. Nope.
Shoot!
Nope.
Shoot!
Shoot! Through the power of trial and error, I can overcome any obstacle that comes my way. What was Kyoko's account? Oh.
I got it!
Oh, he pulled the plug before the
While
DVD
I was in
finished.
the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
It's just like Phoenix Wright. It's this. What does that have to do? Oh, I meant it's this. It wasn't just the monitor. The DVD player itself had apparently turned off. I don't know, I didn't think about that much. Which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened? It looks like it broke. Why didn't you plug it back in, Mukuro? So it just happened to break this now? Now, then, when, doesn't matter. Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right? Oh, I guess that would have displayed that it wasn't. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. That would have displayed who Junko actually was and who Mukuro actually was. That's interesting.
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that
Conveniently, they were near the end of the video and not near the beginning.
is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Mukuro saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke.
No, it wasn't a fluke. The mastermind definitely orchestrated that power outage. And that's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. The mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence. I've got to reveal that. Oh boy, yeah. Here we go.
Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. What are you even talking about? Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. What are you even talking about?
Well, that'd be great if I could see the note.
Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. What are you even talking about?
I can't hit any notes. I can't hit any notes. Dang it. I think that's the other thing that annoys me is when I can't see the notes and then they change the tempo, then I've got to guess the tempo until I hear the music. Because there's the first, like, I don't know, 4 seconds of the song where no music plays. And I just have to guess the tempo until I start hearing it. Isn't that fun?
Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. That's impossible. Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. What are you even talking about? Punishment is waiting for you. I'm not listening. What are you even talking about?
Oh boy, let's figure this out real fast.
That's impossible!
That's not it, is it? Nope.
That's impossible!
Is that it?
This should prove it.
Yeah, that proves it somehow. Did it? I don't really know if did it. I was suspicious about Celeste in that group
The video
photo.
wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we got.
Oh, you can use a special ability? Yeah, I mean, that minigame doesn't happen very often. That was my problem, is that I never really got any practice with it to, like, remember it. Yeah. Whoops. Oh well.
In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
Oh, you never see Junko's face. Gotcha.
What's so unusual about them?
Because that would have been a weird thing as well, I think, if we saw that. Or no. Yeah, we never saw Junko's face. Wait, this is confusing to me now. We never saw somebody's face, let's just say that. Conveniently. Look at them Krispy Kreme donuts. You put your stupid arm in front of my face. It really doesn't matter right now, pull yourself together. There's something that bothered me. No, I don't want to go through all the pictures again. I want to pick the wrong answers. Think I'm supposed to replace some trials to get more coins? Yeah, it would help if they didn't, you know, if I didn't have to play that, you know, what was it like? I played that maybe, I want to say like 7-8 times. And they give you the rules once and then they just start throwing crap at you. Oh, wait, so who we thought was Junko wasn't? I'm so confused. What Hina just said now. Even now we don't actually know what one of those people really looks like. Shoot! I mean, like, I got the rhythm part down. That part wasn't hard. The hard part was I didn't know what that button was. I didn't know how to use the stars on that. Or what they did, I guess. I can get rhythm, it's just hard when I can't see the buttons for the rhythm. You know, and then, like, the tone isn't there for, like, a good 3-4 seconds.
I got it! Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face.
She got splashed water. And now she's looking away. She's also looking away. And stupid arms in my face.
It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think?
Junko's tie. This is why I like having the stream running as well on the side. So I can see, I get like a 10-second, replay of what happened. I just saw that. I just saw the tie. That was great. That was actually, that's really good.
And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet.
Yep, you see it now?
In mind, there's no doubt
you
that
see
the
the tie?
Whose face is hidden here is the real Junko. Which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Xanadu!
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Ultimate.
Xanadu times 2!
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
Oh, I mean, we didn't have that picture. It wasn't like we had that picture the whole game. We only had it for the past, I want to say like hour. Well, actually, discounting the stream, maybe like 3 hours. But it's, I mean, you don't get the opportunity to look at the picture whenever you want. You only get to look at it when the game shows it to you. So you don't really get it put in your face that often. I don't know.
No, wait, hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything, right now.
Do we get to make a cool comic? Yeah, comic time! Oh, my favorite. We get to look at all the great faces. Look at everyone, they're all so angry. It's like, hi, I'm Junko. What was the identity of the ultimate fashionista who I met in the main hall? That's not it, right? That might actually be, I guess that's it then. We'll find out when we start, I suppose. Alright. Junko starts kicking people, well, who we think is Junko. Oh god, I got stabbed. Oh, it was really me, Junko. Mukuro. Where did the mastermind keep Mukuro's body? There, you can be dead right there. I'm gonna put on a mask and get all spooky. The mastermind attacked me with something. It was a pointy knife. Good job, Makoto. When the mastermind attacked me, who was it that stopped them? My gaze alone. Hey, stop. That's rude. You can't stab people like that. This could take a while. Yeah, I feel like I might get it wrong, but don't help me out. Let me figure it out. After their surprise attack failed, the mastermind fled my room. Actually, these might be switched, I feel like. Yeah, those are probably switched. Okay. Took off the mask. And they put it on Mukuro's body again with that creepy smile. I love it. What was the condition of the dead body when I first found it in the garden? It looked kind of like that. The mastermind watched us, and as she was about to take off the mask, hey, look out! Whee! We couldn't identify the mysterious body because it got blown up. That's pretty obvious, if I say so myself. Alright. Let's see how far this gets me before I have to replace something.
Here's exactly what...
Exactly! Nothing went wrong. I'm sure I got it exactly right.
We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko.
Yes, I got it right. There we go.
The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba.
So much for being the ultimate soldier. Stab, stab, stab. This is the worst
But it
group
wasn't
I've ever
long
been a
before
part
she
of.
died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko Enoshima.
Thunk.
Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue, until Junko decided to put her body to use.
This is really a good song. I like it a lot too.
Junko dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school.
Oh no! So maybe they have to be switched. You get it wrong, Mukuro. Look who screwed up now.
I refuse to give up yet.
Dang it, I got those backwards. I'm sure of it, or something. You're not gonna make me start from the... Oh, you're making me start from the beginning, what a scumbag! Alright. What was that one? That was that. This takes a little bit longer to recover from than a regular mistake, doesn't it? Nope, I didn't get it right in one go, unfortunately. I don't know. I figured they'd just let me go back like they normally do. No, I gotta reset everything. I mean, it's not hard, like, I mostly know what's going on. It's just... I gotta do it all again, so it's like another minute or so of stuff. Oh.
The killer is... you!
You're the killer! I know it's not the game fault I got it wrong, it's just... Those two pictures look very similar.
Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived.
They're describing events that occur at nearly the same time. Like, they're very, very close, and honestly, based upon the pictures, you could go either way, I feel.
But
time to hold down the circle button. I don't think it's the game's fault I got it wrong. I just think it's... I think some of the pictures are a little bit silly. Like, they look so similar, it's hard to tell the difference based solely upon a small picture. There we go.
So she put on a mask and then attacked me.
See, those are describing
After
two
making
events.
sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room.
Those are describing two events that occurred in probably within a 2-second time frame. Like, what? Come on, really?
Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body. This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place.
Oh, I love that part of the song. It's so interesting to listen to.
Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence.
Imagine how much that would have sucked if that was a dud. You would have ruined everything.
She needed to hide the body's true identity. She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder. And the one who carried it all out is the true master.
She looks like a skeleton.
The one controlling Monokuma.
It blew her skin straight off, leaving only her skeleton. It's you!
The real Junko Enoshima!
Oh man, I should have played the cornered
That's
music.
the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Over? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case?
Yes?
Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Hi. How are you doing? Nice tie.
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear. If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, in some of our home cooking. Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
Okay, like real talk, is there, should I, if I choose like no, is that gonna kick me all the way out or something stupid? I don't want to screw this up, but I kind of want to choose no. Home cooking doesn't sound too bad. I like home cooking. Doesn't matter. All right, no, screw you.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you. It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
This voice is a whole lot less exciting. This is the mastermind? She's the real Junko Enoshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free.
Oh god, you sound terribly, dreadfully bored.
Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day. It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Your face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
Wow. That's a lot of chihuahuas.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
No, I do remember seeing it. I'm sure I've seen her too somewhere. Was it... I don't even know. Are you sure? But Junko already switched with Mukuro by then, right? I don't think that's it. Oh yeah, maybe it was before that. In the headmaster's room? No, I didn't think so. None of us saw her there. You can say that with confidence. Kyoko's that sure, she must be right.
Shoot!
Alright, cool. Before arriving at school.
I got it! That's right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover.
Oh, that's right. That was a while ago, wasn't it?
And you were on it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
It's better
So
than my
I was
memory.
Right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began.
I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't quite match up to reality. Because it didn't. Gotcha. Talking about my cover photo and junk? Well, of course, those are totally photoshopped. Photoshopped? Okay, I gotcha. So they aren't real. That actually makes sense
Sometimes
now.
a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
Junko is played by 2 voice actresses in English and 6 in Japanese. Wow, and one of the English voice actors also does Toko and Jill. Wow. That's some talented voice acting right there.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. 2 people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Oh, well, I guess that would explain why they look so similar.
I know. It's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it. So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima! And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the Ultimate Despair!
Electric guitars fly in the background.
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Like I said, I get bored easy as hell! I even get fucking bored with myself! But if you're twins, why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit?
Nice tongue.
Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores me to tears. Answering the same questions over and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
But if she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if.
Well, I suppose I'd better explain.
What is going on? This is great. I love her character.
For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes.
I could see why the 6 voice actresses for Japanese might be there.
The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life.
Most of Junko's personalities are based on people in the trial. I can kind of see that. I was thinking about that. You know, I was like, wow, that seems an awful lot like Toko. You know, so this actually, it makes a lot of sense.
I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the 3 atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, My ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away. Which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know? If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring. So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal. Just as I suspected.
Just.
When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
Spent some time with Mukuro. It shows she does suck at acting. Yeah, I never really... honestly, that I said I wasn't really interested in going back and looking at anybody else's free times. That might be the only person that I might be interested in looking at a little bit. I'll have to see, but that would be one thing I'd be interested in. Huh? This wasn't supposed to... Why me?
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
How can you talk like that? You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary.
You can kind of see a lot of Monokuma in her character still, though.
We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. Nope, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all. When I was born, I cried tears of total despair.
Total?
So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything. We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret.
So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it? That's not true at all.
Oh.
We were twins. How could I not be so?
Now it's gotten emo. She got mushrooms.
That's why it gets me so excited.
Yeah. I've been wanting to look for a spot. You know what? I'm just going to do it right here. We're going to take a, I don't know, maybe 10-minute break. And we'll come back. I also want to restart the recording. Not the stream. The stream will keep going, but I want to restart the recording because I noticed last time when we did it for so long, the file was a pain in the butt to work with because it was so long, so I want to break it up a bit. So, yeah, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Feel free to eat, use the bathroom, or whatever, and we will be back at about 5 before the hour or so. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, see you guys in a bit.